Hello, I'm Dave the Sign Guy, and today I want to talk about a new hobby I just really discovered recently called cycle karting. It's basically a go-kart with about a 6.5 horsepower Predator motor, which are pretty cheap, $100 motor. And they're basically go-karts that are designed after 1920s, 1930s race cars. What's really great about this hobby is it's not expensive, relatively speaking, in racing, and a lot of fun. You build your own kart from scratch, and guys meet and get together and have lunch and pseudo race. It's more about the build and the camaraderie than the actual racing, which I kind of like. You know, competition is fun and all, but I think the way racing has gone, it's gotten so competitive on every level, from junior go-karting all the way up to the professional levels, as it should be in the professional levels, that for me, there's no fun in it. But I discovered this purely by accident on YouTube, and then found a website that I believe is called cyclekarting.org, and found out that locally there's just a few guys here in upstate New York that are doing it. And one of these gentlemen named John had a little get together this last weekend, June 3rd, at his home for cycle karting and some spectators. And although only 3 carts showed up, because it's very, very new to the Northeast, it was a really good time. Everybody I talked to was very amiable and kind. And as a matter of fact, all the gentlemen that brought carts were more than happy to let basically anybody drive them. And I did. I drove one of the carts, which was a remake of a Bugatti race car. And it was really interesting. A lot of guys take a lot of time, put in a lot of detail, but it's not about how much you spend. A lot of these guys get into it between $1,000 and $2,000 to build the cart itself. Now, I only took the one cart around this nice track the gentleman had laid out once. I just didn't feel right riding around in these carts that these guys spend time in building for themselves to have fun in and take a chance on doing any real damage. So although these gentlemen were more than kind enough, would have allowed me, I'm sure, to take multiple laps and have a blast in their carts, I just didn't feel right in the possibility that I might damage their cart. But let me tell you, a finer group of guys into a real easy hobby you could not find. Now, this hobby apparently is really, really popular on the West Coast, California and Arizona. And if you go on YouTube and type in cycle karting or something to that effect, you will find a lot of videos mostly dedicated out that way of people who are really into this type of karting, and some really neat designs. Now, I will say that on that website of cyclekarting.org, there are some relative specs of how you should be building your kart. But you can pretty much do what you want within and outside those specs, because it's not really a governed body, so to speak, that I could see as far as these go. Now, there'll always be those people that take things way serious, and then there'll be people like me who just want to have fun. I don't care about getting out there and winning, but man, it'd be fun to build something that looks kind of cool and you can maintain fairly easily and cheaply, load up in the back of your pickup or a tiny trailer and head out somewhere within an hour or so and have some fun, anywhere from 2 to 6, 7 times a year. I don't want to get into multi-racing, going to tracks here and there and da-da-da. This is just a little homegrown thing that looks to be a blast. I believe the name of this club here in upstate New York is the Northeast Cycle Kart Club. And I'm going to double check that. But man, what a blast. So let me get into some of the video here. Now I think rather than just saying I'm going to build a cycle kart, I'm going to actually give you some videos over time of parts I'm accumulating to build the kart. The next big purchase for me will be the wheels. And when I get those wheels, I'll be more specific about what they are. And hubbing and everything else, I'll let you know where I'm getting these parts as I order these parts. The axle, I can't even remember where I got that from. But when I get the wheels and I do the next video, I will make sure I let you know where I got this particular axle. Now, go to that cyclekartclub.com website to look at what your best parts may be for you. What's nice is there's go-kart distributors and parts distributors all over the internet, including Amazon. So you can get your steering components and things like that almost anywhere. Now there are some specific parts you'll have to have custom made, like the frame and things like that. But outside of that, it's pretty easy to build one of these karts as far as I'm concerned. Let me put it to you this way. I'm not a welder, so I'm going to have the frame welded up for me. But if you're a welder and you have basic skills, you can build the whole kart by yourself in your house or garage at home, or in my case, I'll build it here in my shop. I would think, and I'll let you know better by the time I'm done, that I would call this maybe a medium to medium-ish advanced build. But it's not overly complex. You don't have to build a special motor. The motor should be stock. And it's more about just being mechanical overall. So I'll probably get my son involved in this build and my daughter in little bits and pieces just to get their hands on this stuff. So I'm Dave the Sign Guide. Tune in and I will follow up with some more videos over time on this build. I'd love to get it done by this fall because they have another get-together in September. So we'll see where I'm at. But if you've been following my website or my YouTube, you know I'm working on a van. I did get a couple things for that. Not the van yet, but I got the mechanism for the table and a tabletop. So it's a start. And I'm going to do a reveal, which you can kind of see behind me. But I'm going to do a full walk-around reveal on my racing flight simulator combo when I'm completely finished, which should be within days. I'm just waiting on my triple screen setup. So look forward to talking to you again soon. Thank you.